Good morning, friends. This is Bhushan Nimlekar on Daisar Connect, DC Celeb Talk. And today I have been, very privileged to have more than 5 or 6 guests, and we are going to speak on a very important subject which is happening in the present situation. And that's the online education, which is a matter of concern or a new format which has entered our life since the past maybe year and a half or so. Before 2019, we all were not at all familiar as to, I mean, off and on we knew what is online education, but whether it was going to be compulsory or is going to be a part of our day-to-day life, we never anticipated. So I have a very strong team of parents and teachers who are there with me, who would put their points very nicely and very softly, because we are going to have a discussion, not a debate. I've got Mrs. Himakshi Kholia. I've got Mrs. Monali Shah. I've got Mrs. Anuradha Rajgopalan. And Anuradha Rajgopalan is a teacher. Why am I emphasizing? Because the other two are parents who are introduced. Mrs. Shruti Shroff, again, is a parent and a teacher. Anuradha is a teacher and parent. Mrs. Jayashree Manoj Pehare, she is a parent, and Mrs. Mamta Shah is a teacher as well as a parent. And I've got the male gentleman also over here. So, Mr. Manish Panchal, he also is a parent. So this is the combination where I will first put up a question, and it's actually anyone who can answer the question. It's because we haven't decided as to the language of speech would be English, Hindi, and Marathi also, because some parents are Marathi speaking. So please, we have to understand. So, do you believe? I mean, my first question is to my parents and group over here. Offline education offline education, was it a better option than the online education system which is prevailing right now? You can raise your hand and you can start answering the question. Yeah,
There
Dr.
is
I mean,
no
Miss
such
Monali.
doubt. Yeah, there is absolutely no doubt, no iota of doubt that offline education was better anytime.
Yeah.
Reason being, kids in the childhood, they need the socializing and the fun and all those things, which is now definitely kind of impossible. I cannot say totally possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, and more than that, as you said, the offline school was better because they used to interact with the teachers. They were
Yeah.
able to very fully understand their doubts or raise up their queries, which is now kind of really, really difficult to handle. I mean, like me being a teacher as well as a parent, even I am not very comfortable with the online scenario.
Great.
So offline anytime, there is no, I mean, like I don't think there will be anyone who will say that yes, online is better.
Great. Would any person, other parent, like to share the views on this particular, Ms. Jayashree? Bola?
Yeah, I agree with her. Okay,
Yeah.
offline, I will speak in Marathi, okay?
No issue.
Offline study is very better comparing online, okay? But सध्या कंडिशन अशी आहे की आपण ऑफलाईन करू शकत नाहीये. सो कारण ऑनलाईन एज्युकेशन हे सध्या अंधारामध्ये प्रकाश देण्याचं काम आपल्याला करते. कारण एकदम स्टॉप नाही झालंय तर ऑनलाईनचं आपल्याला महत्व आता कळतंय की काय आहे, कसं आहे ते. आणि हे आपल्याला शिकायला मिळतं. एका दृष्टीने बरोबर आहे, एका दृष्टीने नाहीये. कारण मुलांच्या एजनुसार, कारण मुलं लहान आहेत, सिनियर केजी, ज्युनियर केजी, म्हणजे 5वी पर्यंत, तर त्यांना शिकायला कठीण जातं आणि आम्हाला शिकवायला कठीण जातं. कारण तो आम्हाला नाहीये जो टीचर लोकांना असतो. पण तरी सर टीचर लोक आम्हाला सपोर्ट करतात पर्सनल चॅट करून किंवा बोलून की असं शिकवा तसं शिकवा. एक नवीन अनुभव भेटलाय आम्हाला, तो तर खूप छानच आहे. पण आम्हाला वाटत, म्हणजे मला तर असं वाटत नाही की जे शिक्षण टीचर लोक देत आहेत, देऊ शकतात, ते मी पूर्णपणे देऊ शकत नाहीये पेरेंट्स लोक. पण ठीक आहे, तरी म्हणजे ऑनलाईन इज छान आहे.
ओके,
ऑफलाईन पेक्षा. पण ऑफलाईन. हाँ
मिस हिमाक्षी जी, आपको कुछ कहना है?
Yeah, sir. I just want to say, like, every action has a pros and cons. So it's the same here. Like online education is important right now during this pandemic. Obviously, it is a we can say it's a light of a ray, as right now my friend said. Same way, the kids are learning new technology. They are coming towards the new tech, and they are becoming more smarter. And the cons, what I can say, it's like that they are being detached. They are not able to make friends. Everything is just set up on this online platform. They are becoming little bit aggressive, and there are many things like they are in this age where they have to develop many things, the making friends, getting socialized. They are not being so as I said, if current situation obviously online, but yes, given a point, like we cannot stretch more to this online thing.
Okay.
Thank you.
Very good. So I mean, that's just an option what we have, my dear friends. It's not going to be like permanently आपण पुढची 25 वर्ष ऑनलाईन जर करायला गेलो, I think life would be very difficult. माझा एक असा दुसरा प्रश्न आहे की ह्याच अनुषंगाने, I mean, there's one more question. The parents have to spend a lot of time, especially when the kids log in or the lectures begin, because they may not be very familiar, especially children who are in the maybe second, third, fourth, or the primary school and all. So the parents have to give a lot of time for these new activities. Anuradha, what do you feel as a teacher and a parent? How do you see this? It's a new normal, but how do you see that?
So let me talk as a parent first and then as a teacher. 2 years ago, when we were all inside the houses, and then when we got to know that it's going to be an online mode of education, we were all in question mark. What? How? Right? And then once the online classes started, whether it is a parent or a teacher, your houses are under curfew.
Yeah.
Okay? Don't talk, don't breathe, don't drink, don't talk, don't come in front of the camera. And the child will smile here and do like this to the mother or the father on the other end. Okay? Right? And it is very difficult for as a parent, yes, because initial days were as struggling as you have a newborn baby at home and how the entire household is disturbed.
Yeah.
Exactly same scenario सगळ्यांच्या घरी होता. आता 2 वर्षापासून जसं आपण आता या ऑनलाईन सिस्टमवर पुढे म्हणजे चाललो आहोत. आय एम शुअर आता मुलांना देखील आता ना छोटी मुलं देखील, म्हणजे मी आता पहिलीला शिकवते, त्याच्यामुळे मी लहान मुलांचं मी सांगू शकते तुम्हाला. आणि मी नर्सरी म्हणजे थोडे दिवस आम्हाला शाळेत टीचर्सना बोलावलेलं, मुलं ऑनलाईन होती आणि आम्ही ऑफलाईन होतो. असं पण होतं थोडे दिवस. आणि थोडे दिवस मुलं सुद्धा आलेली शाळेत. तर when we had seen them, the children were answering with much confidence and they were able to handle it. But having said that, it is very difficult for a parent because on an online platform, हात कुठेही फिरू शकतो. Okay, suddenly a child will go on to see something else and then you get to know, why are you smiling? I am saying butter beans. Butter beans is a new fad now among the smaller ones, 4, 5, 6-year-olds.
Okay.
It's a new cartoon. Chota Bheem nigun gela, Peppa Pig gela, the butter beans hai. Navi. So it was like that. So now coming as a teacher, it is all the more challenging because we don't know what scenario is going on in the child's house.
Yeah.
It can be sometimes stressful for the child because there's
एक second. One sec. Manishji, there is a little bit of disturbance from your video. So please ensure that there is no disturbance. Manishji.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, please. Continue, Anuradha.
Yeah. So there may be some problem from the child's end, from the child's home.
Yeah.
And it's difficult for the child to concentrate at those times. But being a teacher, we can't say anything on that side because we don't know what's happening on the other side of the screen. We only know what's happening on this side of the screen. So, we just have to tell, please, mute yourself. Or parents, please take care, the class is going on. Or, we are asking a certain question. But yes, it is being challenging. It's a very challenging thing. And I would say, when we were in school, the teachers were well equipped. They were a house of knowledge. But an online platform, the way the teachers have molded themselves, to make so many different platforms of information being available for the children, I don't think we would have been able to do it on an offline mode. I do not support online mode of education.
Okay.
I'm the last person to say that. One small example I would cite, or everybody, when I was taking online classes only, and then suddenly we were told that okay, itna kam ho gaya hai, the child can come for 2 hours to school. Okay, when the child came, they were all looking at me like this. They were all 5-year-olds. ये समोर आलेली व्यक्ती आमच्या माय गॉड ही आहे म्हणजे फक्त स्क्रीनवरच अशी बॅग ओरडत नाही. And one child came to me, he just touched me like this and he did like this. I said, yes, baby, I'm real. You can touch me.
Okay. So these are some new experiences as a teacher,
Yes.
my dear friends, my dear parents. की म्हणजे त्यांना असं एलियन बघितल्यासारखं वाटतं एखाद्या टीचरला जेव्हा पाहिलं तर. सो इट्स व्हेरी इंटरेस्टिंग टू अबाउट दिस.
हे नाही, नुसतं हेच नाही. त्यांना आपल्या सगळ्यांना टॉयलेटला जायला जो एन्थुझियाझम असायचा, जाताना घाईघाईने आपण जायचो. येताना कुठलाही मुलगा कुठलाही मुलगी गाणं गाणं भिंतीवर हात फिरवतच येणार.
Okay.
जाताना एकटा जाणार पण येताना 4 चौघ परत येणार आणि आल्यावर काय करतो ते पण माहिती.
Okay.
Never been to school. How will they know that they're supposed to say, can I come? When somebody comes, you have to stand up. Good morning, miss. Good morning, ma'am. Can I sit down? Can I answer? These are the basic things, which online teaching, somewhere we can say you raise your hand and you answer. But that thing to inculcate, no, it's only offline which can inculcate these things.
Very good, very good. It's a very nice point spoken by Anuradha. I want to ask any of the parents, where some of the parents, if both the parents are working, how do they manage the situation, when this is online education? So does any parent over here has an experience की त्यांचे मित्र मैत्रिणी दोघी कामं करतात, either it's work from home and then there are 2 children or one child in the house who's got online education. So can anyone share that experience with me?
I can say that. I'll tell you what, in my own house, when sometimes I have to work, not that I have to work, but yes, since I'm a teacher, even I have to conduct some online sessions or workshops.
Yeah.
And that is the time when the situation is so difficult because we don't know how are we going to share the device. Because the timings are clashing, or sometimes the school sessions take maybe 10 minutes longer, because of which I have to keep waiting and things like that. And as you said, as you pointed out, that for working parents, the parents who are working always, for them, they don't know how are they going to juggle between their own focus and work and the child. Because the child is definitely not going to understand. It is the other way around. The parents or the employers have to understand that since it is the online scenario, there might be certain distractions or 1 or 2 minute gaps where the parent inevitably has to get up and sort out certain things.
Okay. I have got also a response to be given by Mamta ji. Manish ji, I am getting a tremendous disturbance. One of the parents is having someone speaking. So either आप mute पे जाइए या तो वो disturbance आना नहीं चाहिए. I would request you, please. It's very disturbing. Mamta ji, could you please convey as a teacher what you have to say? After that, I'll ask Ms. Himakshi. Your voice is not heard, Mamta ji. You're on mute.
Yeah, I was on mute.
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah, please.
So, as a teacher, I feel that if both the parents are working, it is very difficult for the child to focus if the child is not sincere or is not responsible. Even though if we will sit for long hours, 1 minute or moment of time will take, that he will be distracted from the lectures. And nowadays we also face the internet connectivity issues, and there are many issues which we face while teaching and while the child is learning. And if the parents are working at home, then there should be 4 different corners in the room. The child will be seated in one corner, the parent will be seated in the other corner, and then only it is possible for the child to listen the lecture with full concentration. And even the even the parent want to focus in his work. So it's very difficult during this period. If the parent is working, offline, it's very online. It's very difficult for the parent as well as the child to concentrate on what the lectures are going on, what the work is doing. It's very much disturbing. Parents are also that much not concerned about the child if they are busy in their work, because we find that sometimes a student log in the class, he gives the attendance and then he's out of the class. And whenever we ask the question, what was the reason for this? They always give miss internet connectivity issues. Your data was not then. Data is also one of the problem. Everybody requires the data, and data is not sufficient for everybody to keep their camera, video as well as audio. So it's very difficult for the child and as well as the parent.
It's a practical problem which it's very nice you discuss about it. Himakshi ji, आप 2 minute में कुछ और you wanted to share something on this? Miss Himakshi, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
You
am I audible?
Yeah, you are, but then you wanted to say something.
Yeah. Sir, I don't have my personal experience, but I will speak from my friend's behalf. She was working, she was in a nuclear family itself. His child was quite, he was quite dependent because he was in 6th standard. And during such period, what happened to her, like she was working and she was getting the workload was getting over and over on her. Like when she has during they go to office, there is a certain limited period. Okay, from 6 o'clock, okay, fine, you have to wind up and you are at home and there is no office work. But what was happening with her? Okay, now there is a Zoom meet, now this is the call, so what happened to her? Like the issue was not handling the data or internet connectivity. Her child was psychologically affected. The thing was, he was finding that mom, dad is not there, you are always on call, and if you are playing with me or you are making me homework and you are certainly standing up and you're saying, no, I have a call, please let me go. So ultimately she had to choose from one thing and she had to quit the job just because to see that my child is not disappointed or he is going under depression, or he was really had to make this firm decision. During this pandemic, she really had to quit the job. So even the situation for the parent like that, it's not like they are into the joint family or they are into the nuclear family. Apart from that, there is a psychology of the child to understand. If they are, once they don't have the siblings and there is no one to look after them. So there is also one of the disappointment that we face is like how to every time make child busy in each and every corner. It's not about only the studies.
Okay.
So that was the one of the thing I had to share.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay, I'll be winding up in the next 10 minutes, but before that, I want to ask Manish ji, if you want to say something about you're into business and आपको इतने parents के साथ आप deal करते हैं, तो 1-2 मिनट में आप बता सकते हैं आपके experience?
So online education का experience to teacher, we appreciate the efforts taken by the teacher.
Yeah.
But I'm finding very much harder to cope with it because I have doing doctors work sick with my mobile and I have to sick up to 11 o'clock at home only.
Oh God.
Afterwards, I have to go to office.
Okay.
So all my schedule is disturbed.
Okay.
Actually, offline school is much better option.
Okay, great. I mean,
now,
in
you
just
gave the offline school of care. My doctors and all the children, the students were so much happier to see the school, to see the teacher, to learn something new. Online, all no concentration. We have to seek up the school game to attend the classes, concentrate on the classes.
Great. It's in just 2 minutes you spoke very relevant points. श्रुती जी, तुम्हाला काही 2 मिनिटात सांगायचं आहे की तुमचा एक्सपिरियन्स की मुलांच्या बिहेवियर मध्ये काही फरक वगैरे आहे का?
अच्छा. ऍक्च्युली मला ऑनलाईन आणि ऑफलाईन जसं आपल्या प्रत्येक नाण्याच्या दोन बाजू असतात ना, तसं प्रत्येक गोष्टीचे फायदे पण असतात, तोटे पण असतात. आणि आता लास्ट 1 इयर पासून मी अर्पिता, आता माझी मुलगी जी आहे ती जस्ट 7 इयर्सची आहे. तर मी एक तिच्या सगळ्या मैत्रिणींना त्यांच्यासाठी क्लासेस सुरू केले आहेत. तर त्याच्यावरून एक एक्सपिरियन्स आलाय मला, की त्यांना काय-काय प्रॉब्लेम येतात. बट जसं ऑफलाईन आहे, की ऑफलाईनला जाऊन ते सगळं शिकतील, मॅनेज करतील. तसं ते मुलांचं पण कौतुक आहे, की त्यांनी ऑनलाईन पण एक्सेप्ट केलंय. त्यांनी 2 वर्ष घरात राहून आज ते ऑनलाईन पण सगळं शिकतायत. जसं त्या म्हणाल्या, की मोठ्या मुलांचा असा प्रॉब्लेम आहे. तर लहान मुलांचे जर आई-बाबा कामाला गेले, तर त्यांना तर टेक्नॉलॉजी पासून सगळं शिकवायचंय. मग त्याचं बर्डन आजी-आजोबांवर पण आलेलं आहे, की असं आहे, की आई-बाबा दोघेही कामाला जातात आणि बिचारे आजी-आजोबा घरात आहेत. तर असं काही पॅरेंट्स आहे, की मी आजी-आजोबांना टेक्नॉलॉजी शिकवली, की कसं मीट ऑन करायचं, कसं. म्हणजे हा एक गोष्ट झालेली आहे. आणि मुलं बऱ्यापैकी टेक्नॉलॉजी शिकली आहे. असं की आपण ऑनलाईनचं नाही म्हणू शकत. लहान मुलं आहेत तर त्यांनी टेक्नॉलॉजी पण हे केलेली आहे, एक्सेप्ट केलेली आहे. 2 वर्ष ते घरात राहिले आहेत. तर त्या मानाने त्यांचं आणि सगळ्यात इम्पोर्टंट त्यांचं स्टडी चालू राहिलंय.
Okay.
जर
So,
आपण ऑनलाईनचं हां. त्यांचं स्टडी
what's
कंटिन्यू राहिलं, त्यांचं वर्ष फुकट नाही गेलंय.
very good. Okay, so
ते
it's a
पण एक
positive,
गोष्ट
it's a
आहे.
very positive approach what
Positive.
Shrutiji has given.
हां.
Parents, those who couldn't
हं.
understand is this in Marathi, I'll explain to you. Okay, Mrs. Shruti Shroff said that the child actually got adapted into this new system, and in fact, she started teaching the grandparents as to how to operate, this system. So there's a ray of hope and positivity in what Shruti has said. But I always feel ki when there's a joint family, and as what Manish ji said, like you require number of mobiles and net issue, जो आपके पास data होता है. I mean, it's not such a rosy picture as what we are trying to portray. It's somehow I feel we are trying to just give ourselves a pat on the back saying koi baat nahi hai, because there's no alternative in life right now. But I mean, winding up in the last few minutes, one more question which is very, very important and which we need to address is there are most of the parents have to pay fees at the school. It's not that you're getting education free of cost. That financial burden is always there. तो वो तो कम हो नहीं रहा है, फैसिलिटीज तो बिल्कुल है नहीं स्कूल के, बिकॉज why I'm saying is because they're not operating. The school is just having teachers running their, giving their lectures, but school buses, there libraries, there various other facilities. So parents end up paying the amount of money, and they don't get the facility. I just want to ask one of the parents, if you can just give a summary of this. कि आपको क्या लगता है, as a Monali ji, what do you feel that paying fees and then not getting the facilities, how do you react to this?
See, exactly. Now that is the problem or a grave situation that every parent is facing, for which I'm sure everyone in Mumbai or all over the world probably must have tried to reduce somehow, coax the school authorities that, have the school fees reduced till a considerable extent, but to no avail as usual, because they have their arguments that we are offering all the services and this is the government's end. But eventually the burden comes on to the parents. And most importantly, the children today. I would definitely not say that online is not good, because they land up, as Shruti ji said, that they land up learning a lot of technology. If I talk about my own child, he's in the 7th grade right now, but they learned how to team up, how to internally within the children solve problems. So these things earlier were possible only when the child grows up and is out into the market, learning in teams. So teamwork is a great thing that the children have learned. But yes, the fees part, I think the government should intervene and definitely have some say where the schools have to reduce, because considering the amount of fees that everyone is paying and the return that we are getting, there is a vast difference, a very significant amount of difference.
Yeah. Okay. So I have to wind up this discussion, but because of lack of time. बोला. लगेच.
आता एकच तुम्ही हा जो मुद्दा काढला ना, त्यासाठी स्पेशली मी ऍक्च्युली माझी मुलगी विद्या मंदिर मधनं आहे. सो मी स्पेशली शाळेसाठी, म्हणजे
हे आहे की फी आहे, पण आमच्या शाळेची फी खरंच इतर शाळेंच्या तुलनेमध्ये ना खूप कमी आहे. अराउंड 30,000 31,000 एवढीच फी आहे. त्याच्यातही आम्हाला शाळेने 10 ते 15% डिस्काउंट दिलेला आहे. हे एक गोष्ट आहे. त्याच्यातही म्हणजे खूप कन्सिडर केलंय पॅरेंटना. इव्हन आम्ही सगळ्या पॅरेंटनी सुद्धा की बाबा खरंच ज्यांचे आई वडिलांचे जॉब गेलेले आहेत कोरोनाच्या काळामध्ये, तर आम्ही असं ऍज अ पॅरेंट करून सुद्धा की सगळ्यांनी म्हणून काही सपोर्ट केलेला आहे. म्हणजे शाळेनेही आम्हाला खूप सपोर्ट केला त्या बाबतीत. काही पॅरेंट्ससाठी पण आम्ही पॅरेंटनी काही मदत केलेली आहे. तर असं नाही की शाळेने आम्हाला नाहीच कन्सिडर केलं. बऱ्यापैकी फक्त ऍटलीस्ट मला माझ्या शाळेचं माहिती आहे. तर शाळेने खूप आम्हाला कन्सिडर केलंय ही गोष्ट.
ठीक आहे श्रुतीजी.
आमच्या शाळेचं पण मेरी मॅक्युलेट सॉरी सर
बोला.
मेरी मॅक्युलेट
आपल्याकडे एकच मिनिट आहे. जयश्रीजी बोला.
ओके, नाही 2च मिनिट. मेरी मॅक्युलेटनी सुद्धा 15% डिस्काउंट दिलंय फीज मध्ये. माझ्या मुलीला पण 30,000 पडतं, पण त्यामध्ये पण त्यांनी 15% डिस्काउंट दिलेला आहे.
व्हेरी गुड. सो आय मीन इट्स नाईस टू हिअर दिस.
ते पण कन्सिडर करतात.
बरं. म्हणजे आपोआप हे कट होण्यापेक्षा आपलं कॉन्व्हर्सेशन मी आता वाइंड अप का करतोय की समराइज करतोय मी की इट्स गोइंग टू बी अ लिटिल डिफिकल्ट फॉर अस टू गो थ्रू दिस फेज बिकॉज दिस इज नॉट अ नॉर्मल लाइफस्टाइल. मनीष जी, जैसे तुम्ही जैसे आपने बताया, बट we have to also accept the fact that there are certain new things which are learned by us in this phase of life, and we have to put in all our efforts to be a part of this. I thank all of you that you took your time off, especially when you're supposed to be with your family. This half an hour was very crucial, and everyone kept your word to be a part of this. So I thank all of you and end this conversation.
Because you are raising very important points.
Thank you, sir.
And having discussed. So thank you to you.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
to Daisar Connect.
For giving us the opportunity.
Yes, God bless you. We'll have another interview on some other subjects next time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. It was nice to be part of this session.
God bless you.
Thank you all of you. God bless you all. Thank you.